up everyone? So today's movie we're discussing on the channel is the latest adventure of everybody's favourite cheese-loving duo, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl, which is directed by Nick Park and Merlin Crossingham. I was fortunate enough to attend a screening at the BFI a few nights ago with the cast and crew in attendance, and I actually got to meet the directors. But before I give you my thoughts on Vengeance Most Fowl, I do want to say for the record that Wallace and Gromit had a profound impact on me as a child. Wallace and Gromit and The Simpsons were two of the earliest things I could remember watching and loving as a child, okay? I was obsessed with them. I saw my mum a few days ago for Express Christmas, and I asked her if she could bring my favorite childhood toy so I could use it in this review, and it is my Gromit Teddy/hot water bottle. This thing is nearly as old as I am, okay? You can tell by how jaundiced his eyes are. This was a gift that my Auntie Carmel got me when I was a Rugrat because I loved Wallace and Gromit so much. Apparently it was all I could talk about because, believe it or not, I was actually a very shy child. So I personally owed a debt of gratitude to the creator of Wallace and Gromit, Nick Park. His creation significantly impacted my life. And me meeting him the other night was me essentially meeting my childhood hero. And both Nick Park and co-director Merlin Crossingham were so lovely to chat to. I even had a little happy cry on the Jubilee line as I was going home after the screening. But yeah, the reason that I'm telling you all of this is because Wallace and Gromit does occupy such a special place in my heart and my development as a human. So as you can imagine, I had very high expectations for a new Wallace and Gromit film. Can you believe it's been 16 years since they've had their last outing with the short A Matter of Loaf and Death? That was the last one that Peter Sallis voiced the role of Wallace. He sadly passed away in 2017. Now in Vengeance Most Fowl, Ben Whitehead has taken over the role of Wallace, and Whitehead is very much doing Peter Sallis doing Wallace, okay? His impersonation of Wallace is pitch perfect. It's spot on, okay? If you hadn't known Peter Sallis has died, you wouldn't know it was a different voice actor. It's also been 19 years since Wallace and Gromit's last feature film, which was The Curse of the Were-Rabbit that came out in 2005. And won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. But Vengeance Most Fowl also marks the return of one of the most infamous characters we've ever seen in the world of Wallace and Gromit. The silent but menacing penguin, Feathers McGraw, whose last appearance was in the 1993 short The Wrong Trousers, which incidentally is my personal fave, and also won the Oscar for Best Animated Short. But yeah, Feathers McGraw is back and out for vengeance, as you can imagine, after Wallace and Gromit foiled his attempted theft of the Blue Diamond and left him incarcerated in the local zoo. There's actually a few parallels to The Wrong Trousers in Vengeance Most Fowl, and not just the return of the villain. But it starts out the same, with Wallace struggling to pay the bills and looking for alternative sources of income. Wallace also has a new gadget to help out Gromit, but instead of it being techno trousers, this time he's invented a garden gnome/smart bot called Norbot, designed to assist Gromit with the gardening. But he soon spots a way to monetize his new invention by outsourcing Norbot to the local community to help them with their gardening or random labor tasks, only for his new technology to be used for more sinister means by an evil mastermind penguin, and that is all the plot you need to know. Vengeance Most Fowl is everything that I could have wanted from a new Wallace and Gromit outing, okay? It's charming, action-packed, full of pun-tastic humour and northern colloquialisms. Some of my personal favourites were "butter me crumpets" and "go on lad, give it some welly," as they're in this action scene where they're actually throwing wellies at Feathers McGraw, and it's a chase scene on two canal boats which are going like 5 miles per hour. Genius. There's even a musical number called the Gnome Working Song, which was hilarious. There's also lots of knowing nods to the other Wallace and Gromit films. My personal favourite one was where Feathers is like clicking on some security questions and it's asking which of these pictures is cheese, and there's one in particular where it's like, ah, yeah, I see what you did there. Plus, there's so many funny little sight gags just hidden in plain sight. One that personally tickled me was the signs saying, now leaving the Yorkshire border and now entering the Lancashire border. There are so many northern jokes in here that are just so specific that I don't think everyone's going to get. Even the joke about the news reporter named Anton Deck. Who's gonna get that outside of the UK? But this is also a movie for movie lovers. There's lots of little nods to other films like Alien, Phantom of the Opera, Cape Fear. Feathers McGraw even gets his own Bond villain moment in a rotating chair. Try not to squeal with glee when you see the creature he's petting, like Blowfield petting his white cat. And what's wonderful about this film is that it really does feel like a fusion of old school and the modern, analog and digital living in harmony together. The narrative of this film manages to be both a celebration of the advancement of technology, but also a warning about the dangers of it. This film has been in the works for like 5 years, but it really does feel like it's arrived at the right time, what with the leaps that we've seen artificial intelligence take in the last 2 years. Artificial intelligence has become a ubiquitous topic for both good and for bad. And Vengeance Most Foul is like a giant cinematic metaphor for that. This film shows how it can be a threat to our workforce because Norbert comes along and starts doing all these labor jobs and arguably doing them better than any human could. And when those types of jobs can be done by machines, it's a real threat to human creativity. And it's also a real threat to our security, as seen with Feathers McGraw. In the wrong hands, this type of technology can be used for deceptive or dastardly means. But it can also be used for good, okay? It's just how we use it. This film manages to find a lovely middle ground because it's not saying that the advancement of technology is necessarily a bad thing, but it's also looking back on the past and how more primitive forms of technology are still celebrated, okay? Sometimes we like looking at an old teapot as compared to some newfangled contraption. And in a way, the film itself kind of feels like it's echoing its own metaphorical sentiment. Because while this is a claymation movie, which is very old school, new technology has been implemented, like the use of CGI in places. The filmmakers have been very smart with just how much CGI to use, because if you put too much of it in, then it kind of takes away from that handcrafted charm of it, okay? I like the jankiness of the old Chicken Run movie and the Wallace and Gromit shorts. I will say the animation has definitely gotten smoother, but you can still sort of see the thumbprints in the clay in certain shots. And I love that because you can see the love and the labor that's gone into each frame. Shall we talk about its Oscars chances? Really, there's only one category we need to discuss, and that is Best Animated Feature. Do I think it's getting into Best Animated Feature? I think so, yes. Admittedly, I will say I was a little concerned it might not end up getting into Best Animated Feature just because of how the last Chicken Run movie, Dawn of the Nugget, performed, okay? That movie was just passable and it didn't get into Best Animated Feature. But Vengeance Most Foul feels like the Aardman that we all know and love. It's just got all those beloved Wallace and Gromit ingredients, and the Academy love Wallace and Gromit, okay? I see no reason why they wouldn't nominate it. I was a little concerned that given the timing of this movie's release date being Christmas Day, that maybe not enough voters have seen it, but it really does seem like Netflix have given it a significant push and gotten the screenings and screeners out to voters because it got into the Golden Globes, okay? It's definitely gonna get into the BAFTAs. It might even give The Wild Robot a run for its money at the BAFTAs. But I do think it'll get into Best Animated Feature, and that will be its only nomination. But what do you guys think? How many Oscar noms is Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul getting? Let me know in that comment section down below. Alright then, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Absolutely. I have lost count of the amount of times that I've watched the Wallace and Gromit shorts and Curse of the Were-Rabbit, okay? I'm just grateful to have another new adventure for Wallace and Gromit to add into the mix of Wallace and Gromit movies that I can rewatch. So yeah, definitely gonna be watching it, definitely gonna be adding it to the collection at some point as well. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? It is a very easy yes. It's just a delightful watch for all ages, okay? It's on BBC One at 6:10 on Christmas Day, okay? And it's the type of film that literally everyone in the family can watch together, you know, kids, adults, grandparents. It's funny, it's got action, it's got tension, it's got lovable characters, plenty of imagination, okay? I highly recommend watching this one, okay? If you can't watch it on BBC One, it's gonna be on Netflix at some point. And third question, what score to give out of 10? Whilst the Rum Trouser is still my most beloved Wallace and Gromit outing, I had a cracking good time with Vengeance Most Foul. It did not disappoint, so I'm gonna give Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul a score of 8 out of 10. But as always, guys, it is just one book's opinion. I'd love to hear from you. Have you seen Vengeance Most Foul? If you have, what do you make of this film? How does it rank for you and all the Wallace and Gromit movies and shorts? Whatever you have to say, let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, do help me out by hitting the little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe, help me get to my end-year goal of 10,000 subscribers. Got a special edition Wallace and Gromit popcorn box just for this video. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Nick Airfield, and I'll see you next time.